Nothing like spending an afternoon at the old back porch ranch, and we're going to do a video here with Captain Scott Null, but apparently it's some kind of a surprise. So I'm guessing, you know, maybe those PT7s from DOA, maybe some of the offshore poppers. He was just showing me some of those. So Scott, what do you got going on here?
I just want everybody to know that I put my money where my mouth is.
What is this about?
I talk a whole lot about Camille and her spoons.
Oh, Lord.
How I like the gold spoons. I've been having customers throw gold and copper spoons. So I made me a trip.
Look at this.
The Fishing Tackle Unlimited the other day.
Look at this.
To reload. Because I had some customers that lost a few the other day.
I guess.
And I said, well,
yeah,
it's time to reload.
Look at these.
So we got 1/8 ounce and 1/4 ounce. Those are my two sizes.
You got some silvers in there.
They're golds and coppers.
Yeah, golds and coppers. Yeah, golds and
I like
coppers.
gold. I like copper. We'll throw a silver every once in a while, but not too.
Look at this one.
Not too terribly often. That's a little 1/8 ounce.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna have to explain when and where you're throwing these.
You see the difference between an eighth and a
Yeah.
and a quarter.
Yeah.
And when the bait fish is really, really small in the spring, I'll go to the 1/8 ounce. Most of the guys like to throw a quarter because they can throw it better.
Yeah.
You know, throwing a spoon, they kind of fly a little bit. They kind of kite on you sometimes. And the lighter spoons, if you got wind like today, it makes it hard to sight cast.
I'm going to be honest. Whenever I throw a spoon, I'm usually just in the mood, or I tell myself, you know, I haven't thrown a spoon in a while. so I put one on, and I know that's not right. It has worked some, but is there like an environment situation where you're like, yeah, we need to throw a spoon?
There's a lot of times when you're out on the grass and you're just kind of watching, you know, you're looking for fish, and you see little silver flashes in the grass. That's bait fish. Bait fish, we can't really see them from the top very well until they move. Yeah. And when they move, they make that little flash. When I start seeing a lot of that in the grass, then it's time to put a spoon on it.
And weedless, of course.
Weedless.
Always.
I always go weedless. Sprite, the old Sprite, these are silver minnows, and Johnson Sprites were the ones with a little treble hook in the back. Yeah. I used to throw those a lot when I was a kid, and I threw them in Galveston all the time. That's the one with the little pink tab we were talking about earlier. Oh, God, yeah. And everybody had to have the pink tab on there.
I don't know why.
Or you weren't catching fish. You had to have it.
I don't know why.
But the pink tab would come off after about 2 or 3 fish. Yeah. And then you'd have to, I carried a whole pocket full of them back then. I still don't know how to use them or rig them. I've been fishing for 50 years. Now, speaking of rigging, on rigging these things, I do this at home in my shop in there. Lighting's a little better out here, and you were sitting out here. Yeah. So I wanted to show it. Little split ring. These are number 3s, 25-pound number 3s. Okay. You can get away with number 5s. They're just a little bit on the bigger side. And then you take your spoon. The problem with throwing spoons that everybody complains about is they twist. Yeah. They'll twist up. You can use a little split, you know, a swivel lock. Yeah. You can use one of those if you want to. But what I like to do is I go ahead and take. Oh, those are invaluable. Handy dandy little pliers. With the little nose, nose on it. I don't know what it is. I don't even know the name of them. I've bought 2 or 3 pair. They're perfect for changing trebles into single drop hooks on topwater. Absolutely. Yeah. If you got to deal with split rings, you want a set of these. Yeah. You can see the little nipple that's on there. There's a little piece on it. Yeah. So you can take that and you look at your split ring and you see where the spot is on there where it separates. Yeah. And you slide that up on the inside of it. And bingo. And it's still a little difficult. My fingers don't work all that well. Yeah, there you go. The older I get, once you do that, now it's open. Yeah. And you just slide that right on there. And then you can do it with your finger, but I just slide it on. Yeah, you can just twist it. And then twist it. Now I want to open it up again in the same spot. Come on. And you can imagine how hard it is to do this without the pliers. Or on the boat. On a boat. Yeah. That's why I do all this at the house. And now I get a little swivel. These are little stainless steel from American Fishing. And these are, I believe, 30 or 78-pound swivels. Yeah. They're tiny. Yeah. But take that little swivel and slide it onto that opening, which I don't have in the right spot. Now it's there. Slide that on there. Do the same thing. Spin it around. Get it into place.
And now look at the movement.
Now you have a swivel on the front. That's a good quality swivel. Don't buy the cheap ones. These are good swivels, and they're stainless. And
look at that.
Now as it goes through the water, these don't really spin. They do more wobble.
Yeah.
And that's what you want them to do when you throw them in. You want to let it settle, and it'll do this on the way down.
Yeah.
And then as you twitch it, it'll do it again. But if you reel in fast, like you've missed your shot on a fish, or another fish pops up, you're gonna reel it in fast. It's gonna spin.
Yeah.
And that'll just put twist in your line.
Yeah.
And then eventually you're gonna get wind knots, and you're gonna have problems.
Yeah.
But without that, it's, works out a whole lot.
Man, Mother's Day was a long time ago. You already got Camille set up here, man.
And what I do after this is I take them and I put them in a Ziploc bag and put them in the Ziploc bag inside my tackle box.
Yeah.
And if I've got some, everything comes with those little packing deals.
Oh, yeah.
Those desiccants.
Yeah.
And I'll throw 2 or 3 of those in there that I have from something, whatever's been shipped to us.
Yeah.
My wife's the Amazon queen, and so we've got a lot of shipping stuff.
Yeah.
But I'll throw those into those little baggies.
What does that do?
It keeps it from gunking up and rusting up.
Okay.
And being inside that baggie,
salt,
it keeps them clean looking. And we all know if you throw a spoon in a plastic box and it bounces on your boat the whole time you're running, you pull it out and this is all worn off already. Yeah. And that's just corrosion waiting to happen. It's going to start. The other thing on the spoons, this is all, it's soldered on the hook. Always, when you take your spoon out after you've used it before you've thrown it back in the tackle box, always look at that and make sure it's not cracking. Yeah. Because that will
come off
occasionally after you've beat up on a few redfish with it. Sometimes that'll pop loose. Yeah. And guilty, I have thrown a spoon for quite a few casts and got some hits with no hook before looking down and going, oh,
okay. Wonder why I missed that fish.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just helping PETA out.
Yeah, that's right.
But anyway, that's
awesome.
That's what I do. Yeah. And that's having a little workshop in there like that. This is my box. I got all different size swivels and different bits and pieces to make leaders or whatever I want to do in there.
Yeah, it's pretty much your spoon box.
Yeah, it's a spoon box, and it works out really well. Yeah, I found over the years if I have all the stuff ready and sitting in there on my workbench, and it's in a drawer.
Just pick it up.
These are sitting on top of the box. Yeah. When I need to do something, I've got a few minutes. I can just walk in there and do it instead of having to get everything out and
go through everything,
hunt everything down, and find all that stuff. It's just better to have it right there and ready.
That's awesome. All right, well, there you go. Now we can all throw spoons. Let's see and now I know when to throw spoons. You guys appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel and, of course, the podcast, and leave your comments. That's always how we get some great topics.